We have three basic verticals. One is Loan Hub, where we match borrowers and lenders in the SME space. And there we engage with 80 different lenders. We have thousands of borrowers on the other side. And it's a pretty straightforward matching process that we've patented and have an algorithm around. And so we ensure the highest level of conversions possible there. So success for everybody. The second line is an underwriting business, underwriting as a service, and that really is around automating the underwriting process for SMEs. Again, as mentioned, there's a lot of data points. By a lot of data points, we mean literally hundreds of pages of documents that have to be reviewed, analyzed, synthesized, etc. And that we license to lenders so that they can underwrite SMEs much more quickly, accurately, etc. The third line is what we're calling Namaste Biz. It's a neobanking app, mobile-only app that allows the SMEs themselves to be able to manage their finances much more easily, seamlessly, and then also avail a loan seamlessly. So we're actually the first company in India to allow folks to both manage their bank account and apply for a loan in the app itself. When we first came, I think we developed a platform that was, fully digital, and we expected everybody to be able to ramp up in it, from day one. And the big learning from that was, the ecosystem wasn't quite ready, and so we kind of took a step back and added in functionality that would enable people to work within our system, but also continue doing largely, what they were doing before. Like for example, in banks, they have an offline underwriting process. Okay, that's fine. We'll provide you the documents digitally, and then you can offline underwrite. So that was a minor change and tweak that we had to think about and learn, and it was I'd say, initially a big learning. I think in the more recent past, over the past year, as we've expanded the team, we've learned a lot about the importance of the team, of the right people in the team, of managing the teams or various teams. Right, we have multiple products, we have multiple teams. And so just the importance of kind of your team and the members in it, and making sure that everybody's working in the right direction and towards the right direction has been a great learning kind of over the past year.
Yeah, so I think there has been a fundamental changes. Like if you break our journey in two phases, I think first phase was before liquidity crisis, which hampered most of the NBFCs, and the other is a post-NBFC crisis. So pre-NBFC crisis, the main challenge for us was to establish ourselves and prove that the model, the asset-light model in fintech for SME lending is a scalable model, is a proven model, and can withstand various economic cycles. Post-crisis, I think that answer was already, that question was answered. Then the challenge today is that how do we maintain, strong conversion rate of SMEs who are coming and applying on our platform, despite limited and less banks available to lend to those guys, right? This is post-crisis, and I think we have done a fairly good job of yet maintaining our the core competency of our platform to enable highest conversion rate in the industry, despite limited banks available to lend to SMEs, and continue to grow deeper into the SME ecosystem, right? So I think that's been the broadly two areas how we have seen the economic cycles, pre and post financial crisis, and today I think we are among the few fintech companies who have proven at scale how, despite economic cycles, if you have a deep tech, fundamentals, you can still make inroads in a big market like SME lending in India.
Yeah, I think it's been a great ride, and over the past year, I think, as Gaurav mentioned, we've really not just established ourselves, but also proven out the model further with being able to keep our conversion rate very high on the loans through working with a broader set of lenders. And by, again, having our matching shine through in this tough environment. So, I think the past year particularly has been rewarding from the perspective of, establishing ourselves and then really proving out at a larger scale how this is working out.
Because if you look at it post-crisis as well, it's a supply which has been curtailed. Demand continues to be very robust, and SMEs continue to be super underserved. So we've actually seen a much bigger demand for our platform, which continues to outshine and be a biggest differentiator in the loan matching arena, even with limited banks available today, right? So that's been, I think, I would say, one of the key milestones that we continue to achieve in this tough market conditions.
Our AI effectively helps us gather more data points, analyze the borrowers much more deeply, and thus avoid giving loans to borrowers that maybe shouldn't have gotten them simply because certain data points were overlooked. So that's kind of the most fundamental basis, is the technology allows us to gather, analyze, and synthesize much more data points than was previously possible. We really avoid the error up front. So that's kind of the basis of it all.
Yeah, clearly, I think Lucas has answered it. Just one more point is that SME underwriting is a data-driven underwriting, right? And AI is best suited for an area which has much deeper data availability, right? So when you club these two, it becomes a very powerful, engine. And I think we are the only players in the market who have managed to club these two, problem statements and make a strong solution out of it, which is today enabling even banks to disburse funds quickly, give credit out faster, make much better, much more informed, intelligent decision. And that's why a solution is in fact called Intelligent Credit Assessment Memo. Which helps the traditional underwriting in traditional banks in assessing SMEs faster, better, and make less error-prone decisions. What has changed is the behavior of MSMEs in last 2 to 3 years, and that's because of the advent of technology, advent of digitization in their day-to-day life. For example, GST, more banking transactions for MSMEs, more receptiveness to apply online, more acceptability to newer apps, right? So SME are behaving to, this is the first time in the Indian SME history or Indian landscape that SMEs are now becoming more and behaving more like a consumer. Right? So that's a big, you can say, behavioral shift that we notice, right? And that's where we see a big advantage for a player like us who have been in the industry just before this transformation happened and continue to thrive in it, right? So we are easily the early, not just the early entrants, but also the beneficiaries of this shift in the behavior of SMEs, right? Now, having said that, I think it's also very important that how now it's a challenge is on companies like us to prove that this adoption continues and it stays, right? So that's what we are really now working on, and that's where our foray into and our expansion into neo banking platform to allow SMEs to continue their acceptability of the digitization and continue to embrace technology for their own good.